Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. I talked about it on Twitter, but it's going to be more of a laid back stream. Feel free to ask me any questions today. We're just going to be playing a game that I really enjoy, which is Power Wash Simulator. It's been a while since I've played it, but I played it a lot in my personal time. I'm excited because doing it on stream, I get to redo all of the Final Fantasy VII Midgar ones, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I just sort of wanted to have something that I can chill out and enjoy, not get too sweaty with it, not worry too much, and just enjoy sitting here and talking with you guys. I hope everyone's doing good. We'll jump into that in a second, but I want to see how everyone's doing. Get your fishes in. This will be a good stream just to rack up those fish points and make sure that you are beating me. I'm pretty sure our lovely mod waifu is the only one currently beating me on the leaderboard. It has been, I don't know, it's been a week. I talked about it a little bit, but I got bit by a spider and thought that I was getting sick because it was just one of those dumb moments where I didn't add up everything together. So I had woken up and my leg was hurting and was like, oh, whatever. And I rolled over and fell back asleep. And then I wake up for work in the morning. I start my days off working from home and then go into the office. And I was sitting there working and got really nauseous and went and threw my guts up and was like, well, that's not good. I guess I should take the day off. Took the day off. Everything got better. I stopped puking. I just sort of felt like I'd been hit by a truck. My body hurt so bad. And then my wife noticed that there was a small patch on my leg that was discolored. And I was just like, huh, weird. And then chose to not pay attention to that and not do anything about it. And I still wasn't feeling great the next day, but I wasn't puking, so I was like, all right, I'll work. I stayed home the whole day, didn't want to go spread anything. I was worried I got like the flu, and that's why my body was hurting, and that's why I had been feeling sick. And then after work, I was sitting there and noticed that, oh, that spot on my leg is like 3 times bigger, and that's not great. So I ended up going to the urgent care, and they were like, nah, dog, you got bit by a spider. And they had me take off my sock. And they're like, yeah, right there. And the edge of your sock, you can see the little bite marks right there. And that's why your leg's discolored. And that's most likely why your leg hurt and why you were puking. And it took until like right then to put it all together in my head. I'm like, oh shit, these weren't unrelated things. Those were all pieces of the puzzle. And I just was not looking at it as a whole. And there's like, oh, well, unless it starts like necrotizing or anything, there's not much we can do. You've already made it past the bad part at the beginning, so I guess just deal with it. And so it's been fine. I've been feeling better. It's just everything hurts. My body hurts. I'm tired. I can't get enough sleep. And it's ridiculous because I can sleep in the middle of the day. I can sleep at my desk, but I lay down at the end of the day and I'm laying in bed and it just won't happen. I had horrible sleep last night. I tried to put a tweet out about it and ended up leaving words out of it because I didn't even realize. I commented on that. I was just like, yeah, that's really funny. I'm in my tweet talking about how tired I am and how it's going to be a chill stream today. I just left the words out, but having a rough time. Yeah, I'm always just trucking along. No, it's never great. It's good enough to keep rolling. Even if your tires are flat and you're dragging an axle, you keep trucking. Driving a truck with my high heels on. But so it's just been a thing. I'm having a good time though. We're having fun. I look sexy as hell. Thank you, Cinnamon. I feel great. I'm excited about the model. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still not used to the fact that you guys can see me. So like when we're racing around on Uma and I mute myself because there's a concert going on and I'm just losing my shit, going everywhere. And I'm like, oh, that's right, they can see me. Or when I like lean over to get my drink that I put on the floor and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, that's right. I can't just do that anymore. I'm not just a PNG. People definitely can see that. But it does sort of help translate the fact that I'm like constantly sitting here like wiggling around, moving. It's been interesting getting used to it, but I'm glad. I'm excited. There's a lot of things that we can do with it. I enjoy a lot of the little things that come along with it. I like the fact that I can set it up to where I get the hard eyes when someone follows or subs or raids. I think that's fun. I like the interactive nature where I've basically just become your doll and you can use your channel points to do a lot of different things to the model. And I'm sure as we go on, we'll do more than that. Keep your eyes open. I'm sure the Booba Switch will be coming soon. We'll start with the Booba Switch, and if that goes over well, we'll go for a full Jinter Bent Nero. I feel like if I have that, we definitely have to make the distinction like Nero is the guy and Sari is the girl, but it'll be fine. All of that stuff though is like it's definitely what has kept me trucking. We have a lot of fun stuff going on in life that I'm sure that I'll be talking to you guys about soon. And between that and me not being smart enough to catch that I got caught or I got bit by a spider until 2 days later, we're limping along. It's fine. We may have like our leg hanging off and stuck in a bear trap, but we are still trucking forward. I'm having a lot of fun. The Steam sale was amazing. I'm glad I didn't miss it. I didn't see it until it was like, hey, it stops today. I got things yesterday, so it was tomorrow, but I had seen people talking about it and I was like, oh, whatever. And then I looked and there was a lot of really good shit. I got like 7 games and I got out of there under $30 and Power Wash Simulator is one of them. I'm very excited for that. But we've got some fun stuff coming on. We have stuff that I was told about, but I don't know what the hell it is. What do we have? Valheim. I've heard people talk about it, but I have no idea what it is. I got Spore, which is an old ass game, and I don't know how it'll translate now, but I played the shit out of some Spore. We got Noita because Noodle really wants me to play that, and I promised him I would. Power Wash Simulator and Final Fantasy IX, very cool. And then I downloaded Nikke just because I kind of want to get back to playing that. I haven't played it. I logged in on my phone for the first time in. I thought it was like, oh, it's been like a year or something. I had not logged in since 2012 and or 2012, 2022. It hasn't been that long, but I logged in last in November of 2022, and I was like, oh, it's been way longer than I thought. And it was really funny because I remember one of the last things I was playing in that was doing the near the what is it A1 and 2B collaboration event, and I got in there and they're doing a rerun of it. So I was like, oh, so it really just looks like nothing has changed. I'm sure things have, and I'm sure that I still have no idea what I'm doing, but it was just really funny getting in there. I'm like, oh, this is the exact same event. But today, on top of playing a nice, chill little bit of Power Wash Simulator, it is going to be a Q&A stream. So if there's any burning questions you've wanted to ask, feel free to pop it in there. I'm sure we'll get there, but let's go ahead and jump over to the game, I guess. I think we have it pulled up. There it is. I was like, oh no, what happened? Let me get myself a little small, put me in a corner. You never put baby in the corner. A little smaller. And then we will just jump in. What do you guys think? Do you guys think left side or right side? I know that a lot of people I see are on the right side. The left side just feels more natural to me, but like I don't know. We'll truck on though, but let's jump in and see how this goes. We're gonna go over to special and go to Midgar. I'm gonna learn how to control it like this because I'm not gonna lie, I've played it on Switch and I've played it on my Steam Deck, but I haven't done it with any of these controls. Let me know how the sound is. That was really loud. Hold on, let me turn it down a bit, because once we get to blasting, that's going to be grating. All right. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. We have a truck. We were just talking about trucks. It is a truck day. Yeah, I know how to switch nozzles. Woo! I personally like the right side literally only because the chat is above you. Okay, but I can move the chat too. That's my thing. I need to lower the chat if I'm being honest, because I mean, we're not to the point where chat is super active and there's a lot of people there, but at some point it's going to be like that, hopefully. And when somebody fishes, the fishing thing pops up over it. And I don't know. That is part of why, like, okay, I'm sorry. While we're talking, okay. I'm figuring out all the buttons, but how loud is that? Ah, that's fine. Part of what I do with this stuff is I think a lot about things that don't particularly matter yet. And I know I could save myself a lot of stress and a lot of effort not doing that yet and being like, oh, well, that's a later Nero problem. I'll do it right now. But I have a really hard time thinking like that and not like worrying like, oh, well, no, I don't want to leave that for later. Let's just get it perfect now. And eventually when it does matter, it'll be fine. You didn't ping. Why did you not ping? Let's see, what did you catch? You got a soda can. You're getting my kind of luck. Yes, I know how to jump. Okay, I'm gonna do these so the pop-ups go away. Show dirt. Yes, dirt. Aim mode, not air mode. Ooh, we can aim. Okay, so it's the same. It's the same as the Steam Deck controls. Inventory. But I feel like doing this the way I'm doing it right now gives me a little more fun too, because I can relax. It's not super, like, sweaty, paying attention kind of game. It's somewhat satisfying, and I also get to enjoy doing the Final Fantasy part over again, because Final Fantasy is one of those things that I love with a burning passion. I don't care how trash certain games are. It'll be great. I love every little release that they have. Again, even if it's not great, the cards that just came out are gorgeous. And random little games like the old PS1 Chocobo Derby that just got an updated version on the Switch. I say just, it's been like 2 years. But the, what do they call it? It's Pokemon Chocobo Grand Prix or something. Uh, Super jazzed about that. Really fun game. The spin-offs, Chocobo's Dungeon, the Crystal Chronicles, all of those are fantastic, and I have great memories with stuff like that. So I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Final Fantasy. I know that you have dirt. Ah, behind. I forget. It's a tricksy little hobbit. But no, we'll get into some more high energy stuff, I'm sure. Especially trying to figure out Noita, because I promised Spicy Noodle I would. I'm gonna get a little sweaty and not know what I'm doing, but today we're just gonna take it low and slow and just keep things rolling. Fair. You know what, I'm just gonna assume that that fair applies to everything I said, and we'll just keep rocking. I'm nervous about Noita because it looks like a game that is one of those skill ceiling ones where it's easy enough to get into, but to be good at it, it's going to be a lot more complicated. Hope the bite stuff clears up quickly. It should. The discoloration on my leg hasn't like gotten worse, which is good. I'm not necrotizing, which is great. You never want dead skin. That's fantastic. Gotta exfoliate that, fellas. But it should be fine. I'm getting my energy back. I just hope that I'm able to sleep. I'm trying. I tried so hard, and I know that I've definitely had nights where I'm like, man, I tried to go to sleep, and in reality, I'm sitting there playing Uma Musume on my phone or looking at Twitter. But last night, I set my phone down, I put it on the bedside table, I laid there and just rolled around for like 4 hours. It was rough. And there was nothing different. We didn't leave the fan off. We didn't have any doors or windows shut or open that aren't normally. Everything was completely fine. It just was not happening. And I'm assuming that it's probably just because I'm still a little achy and feeling weird from everything. But again, hopefully things will be okay. That's all you can do is just hope for the best. Do what you can to fix it. Like Grandpa said, there's two kind of problems, things you can fix and things you can't. If you can fix it, stop bitching and go fix it. And if you can't, stop worrying about it and get over it, you know? Those good old people advice. I don't think that Grandpa meant that advice to be used to help with me being an animated person online, but he doesn't get to pick how I use his advice, so that's fine. We're getting Reeve messages. How do you guys feel about Final Fantasy? I know that I want to play Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy VII is definitely number one, and I haven't decided if when I eventually play it, I'm gonna do the remake or I'm gonna make you guys go through the original with me. I get that the graphics for some people are a mitigating factor to where like I can't enjoy it because of that. I've never been that way, but I can respect that some people are. But Final Fantasy IX is a close second. I love the card game, and I love any game that can give me something other than the main game to waste time on. Final Fantasy X, I loved Blitzball. I played so much Blitzball. I've played it so many times where I don't even finish the game because I get obsessed with, oh, I got a new player and I got some good skills. So I'm just gonna sit at this save spot and play Blitzball, and then I'll forget what I'm doing in the game. Be like, well, shit, I guess I won't do anything other than playing Blitzball. And I know you can find out what you're doing and figure it out, but I'm just like, nope, way easier just to sit here and play. But I don't know. It's such a weird split that I have in my enjoyment of games. Like I really love JRPGs and RPGs in general and things with great stories. But I also really enjoy stuff like WarioWare with all it's just the mini games and technically there's a story, but it doesn't matter. You're just playing games. Pokemon, which I feel bad sometimes because I I know that love and care does go into the stories, but a lot of the time I'm like, shut up and let me catch cute monsters. Nice Power Washer. Hi, RM. Hi, Noodle. I was just talking about you. We're just having a chill Q&A slash relaxed stream. Uh, I can't sleep, but ADD, I mean, what do you expect? I try my best. We were talking, gonna make a sandwich. Have fun, Lirio. How much does it weigh? I'm not sure. I've never measured the weight. That just makes me think of the South Park episode where they're talking about the yaw and different ways of measuring it. Can that please be the next like trend that goes along? Everyone was doing like, oh, what's your boob weight? I'm serious. I want to start like, nah, we're just gonna have like slap it down like you're at a butcher, see how much that sausage weighs. Am I paying a full $5 or are we cutting some off of that price tag? Sir, I ordered a pound of meat, and this is barely even a half. I just completely missed this. See, that is the thing, is like, I try to systematically do things, and then I get distracted, and then forget to go back to what I was supposed to be doing systematically. Boom, boom. Alright. I think this one... You bitches. The roar of a jet of water. If only there was a name for that. I've only ever watched Final Fantasy VII myself. I can totally understand if people are off put by the pixel graphics. The older games are a bit too long for my attention span, so I end up hopping in and out most of the time. That's fair. I like the remakes. I am not gonna lie, I downloaded Rebirth and have not played it yet. I did 100% complete every aspect of Remake, and then life just got busy, and I haven't played Rebirth yet. And I want to, don't get me wrong. But I just haven't. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with this story. Bro, how the fuck am I supposed to get under there? You have opinions on Remake? I don't know. I also have opinions. I feel like they made Cloud softer, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it depends on if they go the route of reimagining or being a remake. And obviously they've departed already. And I have not seen what happens in Rebirth, so I don't know how tightly they're going to stick. If it is going to be a changing the dynamic and changing fate, or if they're going to stick with, like, no, there are certain events that fate can't change. I haven't done Rebirth yet either, despite having... Okay, I don't feel as weird, because I also have it and just have not been able to sit down and do it. Oh yeah, sorry, Noodle. We were talking about you because I was talking about the games I got on Steam sale, and I was saying that I got Noita because I told you I would play it, and then we were talking about how it looks to me, from what I've seen, that it is a game that is easy enough to start, but has like a really high, like, no, you've started, you're not good yet. Correct. They literally ditched the only part of Final Fantasy VII that didn't need updating. Yeah, okay, so I know that it makes me seem like an old ass person, but I really really like the turn-based. I understand even the like active turn-based, but I don't know how I feel about it. The only Final Fantasy game I haven't like beaten, I say only, there's a ton of like spin-off ones, but the only main game Final Fantasy game I haven't beaten, other than like 14, which is constantly evolving. I've gotten through the main story of the original, but I haven't done the DLC or anything like that. Was I I did not like 13. And I know that's a lot of people's favorite ones, but the battle system, I wasn't into it. I wasn't into the story as much. And I don't know, 13 was not my jam. Thank you. I'm at least in good company with RM on not liking 13. Which is really, it's really hard to like say that because like I'll play anything. There's that World of Final Fantasy game. Love that game. That game's so much fun. The pixel games, the Music Maestro game, like all of those are so much fun. Well, what I heard the opposite about 13. I heard most people dislike it because linear. Okay, I don't know, man. Things might have changed. You have to understand, I don't internet very well. I just remember back when I was looking when it was like first out, people were like, it's beautiful and it's so much fun and you can Like the battle system is different, and I'm like, dog, I might just be stuck in my ways, but I'm not about the battle system. 15 was okay. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my least favorite. It was okay. I haven't played 16 yet. I should also play 16. I've heard that that one's good, but again, it'll just depend. But yeah, for Final Fantasy VII, I would have kept the old battle style. I don't know. But also, my ADD ass is like focusing on everything else. I'm like, shit, I've not used the other people. I think that's a dumb reason to call 13 the worst because they started doing that with Final Fantasy X and never stopped. Facts. Final Fantasy X, I do have just like a weird love in my heart because of it being PS2 and where I was in life when that came out. And Final Fantasy X-2 was a guilty pleasure game for me when I was younger because I was like, oh, I don't want to tell people I'm playing a game with mostly girl characters. But I'd get home after school and be like, hell yeah, Final Fantasy X-2, let's go. And now I'm like, who wants to play Uma? I'm going out there preaching Uma dominance, so like, oh, how things have changed. More cutscene and story heavy. I don't know. I feel like I'm hitting one of those evolution points in things how I enjoy games, and I'm not sure where it's gonna land, but we'll see. I am super pumped for the new Digimon and Pokemon game though. And Final Fantasy Tactics Remake, the thing that I love about the Final Fantasy Tactics Remake is the fact that they are giving you the option. You get basically two full games. I know it's not different enough, but you get the upgraded one with the upgraded UI and the all the new shit, or you can just play the base game. You can play it how it was back when it came out, and I loved that game so much. I've sunk way more hours than I care to admit trying to get all the different characters and figure out all the secrets and 100% it when I was younger, and it's so much fun. Some of my favorite characters in Final Fantasy come from Tactics, which is always funny because you'll say someone, they're like, who? And I'm like, oh, you don't know this obscure side character who popped in for a little bit during Final Fantasy Tactics? Cloud is in Tactics. Yeah. His was so interesting just because it was a multi-step thing, and because you have to make sure you do the scene with Aerith right, and then it's about having the right people at the right time. You have to have Mustadio and his dad so they can make the time machine to pull him through, and like it was wild, but it was fun. I always also really enjoyed the hard to get characters, or not characters, but the job classes. I love the job system in Tactics. The job system in Tactics is so much fun, and I wish things were brought back like that. And that's sort of the hard part with a lot of these like very character story centric Final Fantasy games where you have like a set cast. Because yeah, you can do things to edit them and sort of change their build, but you're never gonna make Cloud a summoner. Whereas you could do anything. I loved getting the main character Ramza to weird shit like having him be either a ninja or what did they call it? I think they called it mathematician, but it might have been arithmancer. But the people who would cast a spell and it would hit anybody who had a stat of a certain multiplier and stuff like that. I found that so much fun. I also really liked the mediators. The mediators were amazing because I loved the fact that you could talk people into joining your team and doing that with the animals too. I loved the fact that you could get the animals. I say the animals, the monsters. You could get the different chocobo, and you could get the bombs and the zombies and all of that stuff to join your team. Were they better than some of the named characters? Absolutely not. But you can bet your ass I went into some major battles with some monsters in my party just because I think it's hilarious for them to be like, I am the king of everything. And then you're like, all right, bitch, here, Fido, go bite him. but I think it was really fun. And not gonna lie, Final Fantasy Tactics is where I learned about what are they called? Astrology, the Tauros and Pisces and stuff like that. Because I had never heard of that shit before that game came out, and so now when people are talking about what's your sign, I immediately think about Final Fantasy Tactics. All right, let's see what we're missing. We have bike pipe exhaust. Constellations. But like the signs that go with them, like the bull and the twins, like Virgo and Aries and Pisces and all of that stuff. Star signs. Now, star signs, if we want to talk about star signs, how many of you have played the game Conception? Any of them? Because I played one that was on the 3DS, and I really got into it, and then I found out that they released one um, that was on the PlayStation, and it was the prequel to the one I played first. And then I found out they had an anime of the one that I played on the PlayStation, and it was really fun. And it's one of those weird things where, like, you can't just recommend that to people. You can't be like, "Did I still miss exhaust pipes, son of a bitch?" But you can't just like be like, "Hey, what do you think I should play?" Bro, you gotta play Conception. But it is such a fun game. Um, and you have Star Children, you have the Star Maidens, and with the Star Maidens, you create Star Children, and then you take the Star Children into battle in dungeons and you solve the problem in the world. And I don't want to spoil too much, but it's great. Watch the anime. The Conception anime is fun too. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, especially if you don't like giant chunks of shit in your tea, but I think it's fun. Okay, the hauler, we still have work to do, but the bike looks pretty clean. Bike rear wheel axle. Uh, I have to add phrases like that. That's ridiculous. But sort of. It is one of those heavily implied. Your moderator loves anime about Conception. That does not surprise me at all. All right, back axle. What am I missing? Oi. Boom. All right, now we need to go back over here. Need to get on top of things and see what we're missing. But no, it's really good. It's really, again, it's one of those, it makes you seem like you have no life, but it is such a cute story. And it is one of those where you have the different routes, and depending on whose relationship you get up with the girls, you get different ending scenes. And there's the one where you all get to stay friends if you get all of their level up. When I played it on the 3DS, it had multiple save files, so I got all of the girls to like 99%. And then I went through and I made a new save file for each of them, and then an extra one for the happiest ending, where you get all of their relationships all the way up. And it took forever, but it was so much fun. And I don't know, the family dynamic of the fact that, like, you have these kids and then you raise them and train them and then they protect you in the dungeon and you fight with them. You're not just leaving like, "Hey kids, have fun enjoying this war." But I don't know. It's a really fun game. I would highly recommend the game and the anime to anybody who's into that sort of thing. What the hell am I missing? You got a skateboard noodle? All right, 99% hauler, door, window, and headlight. Which, it says door window. That one looks clean. Is it this one? Get clean. Flap, flap, flap. Get clean, get clean, get clean. The children yearn for the landmines. Does he not know about the bar in the top left? I see it. I'm just not. I told you, I'm big chillin' today. Bring. Fine, I'll go around looking at everything, seeing what pops up. Cab panel. Wash, 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 wash. Wash, 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 wash. Get underneath it. Wash, 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 wash. Ding. Loot. Alright. Oh, I seem to have found something that popped up. RM, I'm unbelievably happy to have you around. I hope you know that. Alright, hauler, cab door frames, door headlights. Gotta check out them headlights. Not that one. It's this one, you dirty headlight. Gotta get the different angle of the headlights. Alright, door handle. Not this one. It must be you! And then cab door frames. Well, it was all this side. I just did not do this side very well, I guess. That headlight wanted the grapefruit technique, exactly. Alright, let's see me have to go back. I do like the... It's really nice when you get a big open thing that lets you see you slowly cleaning it. But no, I'm just chilling. Like I said, taking any questions. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm not exactly closed. Imagine working for Reeve. In what way? Because there are certain ways that I would work for him. Don't worry about that. Here we go. Leg gripper. I thought those were called toes. Heidegger. Behold the Scorpion Sentinel, one of Shinra's greatest achievements in military robotics. Your identity has already been stored in its database as a non-target, so stop worrying about getting shot and start scrubbing. I just think about when they were doing the test of that tank, and they were like, oh yeah, check it out, and they turned it on and immediately locked onto the audience. I don't think Reeve fosters a healthy work environment. Some of his employees are kind of rude. Yo. Hey, RM, did you hear which game Sariel bought from the summer sales? Yeah. Which means Final Fantasy IX is coming. That'll just be like... That'll just need to be a long series, though. It'll be something... We have Digimon on Saturdays. Maybe I'll make it a late night thing sometime where I have a little longer because I'm not playing between work and dinner. Oh, that's right. This is, I think, no, you can't do that on this one. I know that one of them you can, like, make it move. I don't like that it's whirring. Oh, okay. How many of you know about the game Legend of Dragoon? That was one of my favorite ones, and when I was in school, people were like, what the hell are you talking about? I've never heard of that. I'm like, it was so good. That one I had so much fun. They released it on the PS4, and so I've been playing it again. I really like that. There's another old game, PS2, I say old, PS2, which is getting older and older every day, just like everything, but it still blows me away how old the systems are. But Rogue Galaxy that they released on their digital store, I had a lot of fun with that one. But again, it's the fact that there's a side game in it that you can play. You can catch bugs, and then you can breed the bugs and fight the bugs, and that's just fun. I enjoy that. And again, I get lost in, I know I should be doing something, but I could totally go do a couple bug battles right now. Head to the Coliseum. No, no, let's go back to PS1. We are not skipping Wild Armor Star Ocean. Star Ocean was really good. There was, I obviously, we've played it and talked about it, but I really enjoyed Monster Rancher on the PS1. There's a game that, again, it's one of those weird games that, like, was at a time where people weren't super into shit like that. But Jade Cocoon on the PS1, it had Jade Cocoon 2 on the PS2. That was also good, but Jade Cocoon was so good. I thought you were talking about Rebel Galaxy for a second. No. The way I tore through my parents' CDs, oh, I know. My dad would get so mad at me because he had one of those things you put on the visor of your car that had your CDs on it. And I definitely took that down so many times and forgot to put it back. And they'd be like, why the hell isn't my music in my car? I needed monsters, Dad. But it was worth it. But PS1 had so many, and I love that PS1 was one of those that I know they still have it, but I don't know. I feel like it's very different. PS1 wasn't afraid to get weird as hell sometimes. There was a couple games like Monster Rancher Hop About, where you had monsters and you were on pogo sticks and you were going through different like puzzles and stuff. There was the Monster Rancher card game that was really fun. The Digimon card game I love. It is one of my favorites. And people are like, oh man, that game sucks. And I'm like, hold your tongue. What am I missing? Those don't feel like they should be dirty. I didn't get a ping on any of those. Oh, it's because I'm not using the right thing. Who needs soap when you get high pressure? Show me where you are dirty. The fun part of is sharing those experiences despite hefty age gap. Look, man, it's just us guys. We can be honest. I mean, yeah, you're what, 40? I'm 1500 years old. That's how it is. I do want to thank you, RM, for that little bit of lore. I love your logic behind it, and I am sticking with it no matter what. Waifu still doesn't understand the whole not washing jeans every single use. I'm not gonna lie, unless I get something on them, I will wear the same jeans into the office like 2 or 3 days in a row. Obviously, if they get dirty in a way that you're like, oh, everyone's gonna know, I have definitely been like, well, shit, now I have to change or I have to wash them or whatever. But if not, I'm like, dog, no one looks at me. The lore about the being 1500 years old specifically, and not any other set of numbers. Man, I don't want to get the ladder yet. Let's go clean the outside of the legs first. I do that so much, but a lot of mine is just like processing time, where I'll say what and then start answering them before they repeat what they were talking about. Because what is just me buying time is my brain slowly processes what's happening. I need to upgrade the RAM in my brain, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, why not jeans specifically? But I mean, I've also noticed that that's something that like they don't reuse jeans. but the same pajama pants, I'll be like, dog, it's been a week. I'll go wash those for you. And they're like, no, it's fine. I just slept in them. Not even jeans. You can hear the gears grinding. Yeah, as I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, just hold up. Processing. I talked to Waifu about clothes specifically today. Uh, I'm sure she told you, but I was asking about where she's able to find clothing because of the lack of selection as of late. Washes jeans every use, nurses a pint of ice cream over the course of 2 months. Yeah, for real. I don't know. I guess I just never think that far ahead. If I stop and get ice cream, I'm like, no, dog, I'm getting this because this is going in my mouth the second I step inside, if it's lucky. It might just get eaten in the car. Move the stool. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. I was talking to her because I got like 5 text messages. There was a bit a couple years ago where I was just trying to find some damn clothes for her. And so I signed up to every website, every store, everything you could find. And to in attempts after like ordering a couple things, I'm like, you know what, if these work, I want to get the updates about new lines and stuff like that. And they didn't, but they all still text me. So like every couple days I'll get like, hey, here's Spanx or whatever brand it was. And I'm like, dog, I haven't ordered from you in 3 years because I didn't like your product or it didn't fit properly or whatever. Also, tell her not to drive and text. She's like, I'm about to be pulling into work because I have to go clock in. They had a problem, but I can talk for a second. And then finally she's like, I parked. I'm like, okay, now I'll respond. Their underwear doesn't last for shit. So I hesitate to say anything because no one's fucking paying me yet. But MeUndies, for as expensive as it is and whatever, MeUndies makes really good quality underwear. I mean, I don't know about for men. I think that they make good quality women's underwear. I'll have to try it eventually, but at the time we were just trying to find some good stuff for her. Ding. It is always really awkward trying to explain a problem like that to a woman that is not directly tied to you. And well, she's my mod. Like, hold on, let's see. You can go exactly two routes. The 7 pack for $5 are expensive as fuck. There's no in between. Well, unless you go to Victoria's Secret and get the 7 pack for like $30. Yeah. Oh, dude, the one that kills me is at like Target, where like they have the hey, get a random pair of panties in a ball for like 50 cents. I'm like, dog, that's gonna fall apart the first use. But it's always awkward because I wanted to ask waifu about her experience with that because and I had to try to find the nicest, least creepy way, being like, based on things that I have seen on Twitter, I believe that you might have a similar figure to my wife, and so I wanted to talk to you about your experience of getting clothes. And I know that she knows that I was trying to be as, like, not awkward about it as possible, but also I'm not good at that, so it probably just came off even more awkward. Go to a male VTuber, you're still talking about pink tax. For real. Dude, as a kid, that confused me the most about the fact that it's like, dog, you are using less and less and less fabric for some of these more revealing outfits. Why the hell is the production cost so much? Why the hell are you still charging as much? That is a half shirt. I should be paying half price, but whatever. All right, that leg gripper's done. This one isn't. I'm still mad that leg grippers just makes me think of toes, and that makes me think that I've been on Twitter way too much. Which is hilarious, because I typically just do, like, when I think of a post, or I'm like, oh, I have to make my daily post or whatever, I will send out the tweet. I'll maybe scroll once. Twitter makes me mad, though, because I think about it way too, not think about Twitter, but I think about the fact that, like, oh man, I swiped a couple, I just wanted to see what's on this, like, first load, and then they're like, ho ho ho, here's the notification saying that there's people that you follow that have tweeted, and we loaded them at the top, so you want to go back at the top so you never, like, get down to, like, wherever. And I'm like, no, stop your brainwashing bullshit and leave me alone. I just wanted to look at things real quick. Alright, so the grippers are done. What do we do next? Hi, I see you waving. And I don't know, I get really frustrated with the fact that everything seems not only to be bad for you, but also purposefully bad for you. Like, hey man, how do we make our algorithm be as addictive as possible? Like, we want to hit the exact same parts that, like, being a junkie hit, because we really just don't want you to click away. How did it get covered in so much green? Did it fuck the Midgar Zolom? Yeah. You know, boys just hanging out, getting covered in green. Hey, if you're available, I have a job for you in Sector 7 Undercity. Tifa! Okay, so where are we sitting? Who is best girl in Final Fantasy VII? I am somewhat biased to, like, the innocent niceness but strength of Aerith, but I think that wrong button. I think that Yuffie is, thank you. I wasn't even looking, but yes, Yuffie. I'm not gonna lie, it might be a hot take, but I think that, oh shit, I just blanked on her name and we were just Tifa. I think Tifa is a little overplayed. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, but look at the jugs. I'm like, okay, but, like, she punch and she jug, like, and I don't know, she didn't give Cloud any help with the fact that he was talking all this mad shit, and she was like, yo bro, that wasn't you, let's talk about it. She was just like, oh, he's clearly going crazy, whatever. Not friendly enough to, bring it up. Cloud, when you get all the pieces, best girl. I will say that when I was younger and feeling edgy, my favorite character was absolutely Vincent Valentine. Oh, fun little bit of Nero lore. I when I was younger started writing a what would probably be called a fanfic, but I wanted like it was structured. It had chapters. I was writing a Final Fantasy book, and then I got through like a chapter or two and showed my parents, and they're like, "One, this sucks. Two, you would get the shit suit out of you if you tried to use Square Enix's IP." And I was like, "Oh, well, cool, thanks." And so I never went back to it and never wrote another thing like that again. I could have been an amazing author if there wasn't IP laws and my parents' distaste for my writing. I also just thought Barrett was cool as hell because he was one of the first characters in a video game I ever got to see swear. I was like, ha ha ha, he said, damn it. Okay, so let's get to the important conversation, which is the cat on the big marshmallow thing's head. How do you say that thing's name? Because I said it how it looks and have been told so many times it's very wrong. My edgy ass was like, the dog character sucks, this Kate Sith thing sucks. Yeah. See, apparently, based on stuff I've been told, so I can't even confirm if it's true, is that because of the Chinese origins of it, it's Kai Chi, which, whatever, it's Kate Sith, I don't care. I'm not gonna change it. It's canon. That's what I've wondered, because I have the movies, I just haven't watched them in forever, and I feel like it was Kate Sith. But that's what I thought too. Okay, I thought it was Gaelic, and then I think it was a Gerard the Completionist video where he explained that it was Kaichi, and I was like, I don't know, but also I guess you're the completionist. Ad? No, the ad. Well, I guess while the ad's going, I'm going to take a sip and go turn on my fan because it is hot as hell in here. Enjoy my floppy body and the movement of those little grippers on its tail. I had to look the Kate Side legend up when I was doing my schizo fanfic for a certain cat VTuber. I had to approve that because it said schizo, and I feel like that's a little too far, but whatever. Also, because I have like the proximity thing going on with the model, I realized that you can see the fact that I sit down and the chair's like really far back because I don't want to accidentally bump the mic, and then I just sort of like, and like scoot the chair forward. Looks like 10 seconds left on the ad. We'll just clean a little bit of the schmutz here. How'd you get so grassy, bud? Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. You will find any filter you can. Did you guys ever watch the Final Fantasy movie, the Advent Children or whatever? No, Advent Children was the... Was that the movie or was that the... No, Dirge of Cerberus was the PS2 game with Vincent Valentine. Advent Children was the movie. I thought it was fun. I have like 2 copies of it, I'm not gonna lie. Is this just like a turbo-powered bidet? Don't forget Spirits Within, yes. Where do you guys sit on the Aerith versus Eris debate? Obviously, as I've said it multiple times over streaming, I land on Aerith. And I heard some argument about the fact, like, well, Sephiroth is Sephirothsu, so Erisu would be Aerith, but people still argue. I'm a red-blooded American, so I use Eris. Hoorah. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about it after the 4th because we had the debut, but I posted that firework display, and it is one of the few times in my life that, like, I have seen something that, like, made me feel patriotic. I was like, hell yeah, America after that. And I am generally what I would say is a very patriotic person, especially in this current landscape. Like, I'm the person who's like, regardless of your problems with the country, I still think it is one of the best countries. Like, but also there are definitely times where it's not as great, but it is still the best. It's the joke that the comedian says about, like, if everybody in your family hits their wives, but you hit them like a little bit less, like only a couple times a week, you're the best husband in that family. You're still not a great husband. S is just an easier ending for that word in English than the TH is. It's why they localized it that way, so I'm gonna use it. Okay, but then explain to me then why Sephiroth is still okay. Do you think it has to do with like the formation of the letters in Eris versus Sephiroth? And I guess Eris, not spelled that way, but is already a word that we use. Aerith sounds cuter, that's the only reason I need. Ding. Where are you still dirty? Over here cleaning up the dirty little grippers. No! Ah. Oh, that buzzed in my lap. I did not enjoy that. Yeah, Sephiroth is fine. Also, one of the Magic Trio was already Sephiroth, so it made sense. Nothing more American than a Sephiroth IRA. Come on, man. I'd let you clean my dirty little grippers. How was the video? Unclear. Bruh. Gordon Dude is pranking world. Hi, Gore. I'm going to get you to agree to come do karaoke on stream with me someday, Gore. I hope you know that. I want to do Loser Baby. And I don't want to do, I don't want to do both voices alone. I will. I love that you guys are so chill. I'm like, yo, I want you guys to come on stream and talk about smashing Pokemon. And you're like, hell yeah. And I'm like, Gore, I'm making you do karaoke on stream. And he's like, bet, let's go. Gore sent me a feet rubbing and slapping ASMR video. Of course. I don't know what I would expect. I love that no one commented on the very specific tweet that I was like, that's going to be my next tweet, and then I sent it out. A lot more people liked it than I expected, but nobody said anything. I noticed that Waifu didn't like it, so I'm going to assume she hasn't seen it. I didn't even watch the video, I just knew World would love it from the thumbnail. I'm not going to go into any specifications on the video as to not get banned before I can even lick at getting partner. But have any of you seen the Jack the Ripper video? I bet Waifu hasn't seen Advent Children, not that she'd get it. Oh, even RM hasn't. How do I describe this? It is a gentleman doing something personal with a steak knife that is typically done with like a thin to moderately not thin rod. And I'll leave it at that. Where do you find that? I think it was on eFucked, I think. It was one of the videos on there. And I got showed it at work. One of the people there was like, oh, you haven't seen this? Hold on. And then just like set it up. Sounds interesting if you catch my drift. Don't worry, I'll send it in chat later, guys. It's fine. I'm going to get onto Waifu for us not having Wicked. Defying Gravity Wicked, or... I want to be popular. But, no, I mean, I also feel like I need to remind people that I used to work at an adult novelty store. It wasn't like I was chilling out, like, on base with the military, and someone was like, hey, dude, check this video out, which, not gonna lie, has happened before, but not nearly as often. There was a time, it was the weirdest, because, like, for the most part, it's just a retail job. But there were other times where I'm like, oh yeah, this is weird. Because I was the inventory manager, there was one time where a guy brought a DVD back and was like, oh, I want to return this. It skips in the middle. And so they were like, all right, you're full of shit. You watched it and you want to give it back. So they sent me in the back and they're like, hey, go watch this at 2x speed and see if it skips anywhere. What would you say the difference is in decency between the adult store and the military expressed as a percentage? Oh, it depends on where, first of all, because I have noticed a difference between the branches, but also I've known plenty of people in the military who also have worked in said industry at some point. Um, I think like 5%. Some of the rules, though, that they have are really interesting because it's like that I technically see where it's coming from, but the fact that there's like not certain wiggle rooms makes it weird. My brother and his current wife were together and they got pregnant, and then they were on the same level in the same area, and then my brother was up for a promotion, and they were like, yo, you got to marry her real quick because you're dating her and she's pregnant with your kid. And if we promote you, then there's the issue of impropriety because now she's your subordinate. But if you get married, it's fine. I'm like, that seems dumb. It was a pre-existing relationship, but whatever. Have fun lurking, Noodle. What should I call you? I always read your name wrong. Because I definitely thought it was Vienna Swirl, and Viennese Whirl. We'll just call you Whirl. For some completely unrelated reason, I'm now considering how high military divorce rates are. Oh yeah, for sure. My brother got married to somebody. Uh, she invited a roommate to come live with them for a while, and then he found out that she wanted to live a different lifestyle than he had planned, and they ended up divorced in like the first year. Holy crap, I just realized that people have called you Whirl in multiple discords I've been in with you, and I never understood why, because I was reading your name wrong, and then I just said it and was like, holy shit, that's why people called them Whirl. Because I was stupid. I just always thought it was weird. It's like, man, they're just dropping the S off and calling him Whirl. And I was like, holy shit, I was the one adding letters. You all have seen that I cannot read. I just blame it on the pressure you receive as a child. In like 4th grade, they're like, you have a 12th grade plus reading level. So they made me read a bunch of books. I'm like, joke's on you. I'm never going to read shit again. Our boy's a natural VTuber. Nah. I'm just an idiot online. Bro, I did that too. As soon as the Book It pizzas stopped coming, oh yeah, hell yeah, that was my thing. They were like, no, 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 you can't take. Dude, I think AR, the accelerated reading program where they make you take little tests over the books is the quickest way to ruin a kid's love of reading. Because I loved reading, but when they're like, no, I know all your friends are reading Clifford, but you're gonna go read Pride and Prejudice because that's where we think you should be reading. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. And like, and you also have to get like 70,000 points. I'm like, dog, I just wanted to read. And so now I don't read at all. My wife had this fun little thing going on because she's been reading her Kindle. I got her what are the Kindle paper whatever, and so she's been reading a lot. And her sister was really excited about. She's like, "Oh, guess what? I just read my 10th book this year." And she looked at hers and saw that she was on book like 58, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool. I'm happy for you." I read The Hobbit for a pizza. Hell yeah. That was also the thing. They would send you home those like pieces of paper that you were supposed to like fill out and get it signed by your parents that you read multiple books that month or whatever. And I'm like, okay, dog, but when you're telling me that you can't read anything but like hella long chapter books, and you expect me to get the same 30 books that everyone else did when they're like, see spot run, done, give me my pizza. We would have I almost said a Coke and pizza party, but I mean like soda. We would get soda and pizza once a month if you reached your goals and all of that stuff. No, people don't understand. Like, that's part of why I homeschool my kids now, is they were going to the same school I was, and I was like, oh, surely it's been years. They're better. No, they're so much worse. And the second they started fucking around with my kids, I was like, nope, I'm not letting you ruin everything for them like you did for me. You're coming to work with daddy and learning how to work on servers. Little fucking Susie over there who eats the glue so much that the parents have to buy more. She can read Barbie coloring books for pizza, and I've got to read fucking 1984. It was literally 1984. Yeah, no, that always pissed me off because they were like, "Oh, Nero, we see that you only read like 3 books." I'm like, "Well, that's fantastic. My books were bigger than all of the books that they read combined, so get off my nuts. You're telling me I have to read these. I'm not going to read them at the same clip as the kids who can go and get 5 books from the library and be done before lunch." I will say though, as much as I have a rant against that, I loved the librarian. I had really good librarians through school. There was a time when I was in college that I emailed the school librarian from my middle school and had to ask her, like, hey, I'm looking for this book. I can't remember what it's called. I think I read it back in this year. And she was able to pull it up and tell me what it was. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Let's see. This is how we first learned about XP curves. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. You're a higher level, so you're gonna earn experience low or slower. Dude, little bit of lore drop, but I I always make the joke I didn't finish high school, but what it was I got sick of it and I made a deal with the school because I tried to be like, yo, I'm dropping out and want to take the GED, and they were like, no, we need you because our test scores are really low and you're really smart, and that drives up our scores and helps us get funding and stuff like that. And I was like, that sounds like a whole lot of not my problem. And so they were like, all right, you know what? If you can take the GED and pass it this week without studying or anything, then we'll let you out of school and we'll give you your diploma. And so I was like, bet. And that week I went and took the GED. I aced every one except for creative writing, which I'm like, fuck that. I'm not a creative person. And it's because the question I got on that was write about a celebrity that you idolize. And I'm not somebody who likes to idolize people I don't fucking know. Like, you do some cool shit, but, like, you're not my idol. I don't hold you to some whatever. Like, dog, you could be a shit person. I don't know. And so I just wrote some bullshit about the comedian that I was listening to in the car on my way to the test. But everything else, everything that was just, like, factual, I aced. And so I walked in, was like, yo, so I technically have a GED and a high school diploma. But they tried their damnedest to be like, no, we're not going to do a better job at making any of this okay for you, but we need you because people are stupid and we need you to make it look like we're actually doing our job. Bro, I literally kept flunking creative writing courses in K through 12 because I wasn't conforming. No, literally because I wasn't writing what they expected in creative writing. Not my grammar, not my spelling. Those were exactly. No, that's my thing. Is like I understood the rules, I understood, but it's like I'm sorry that my creative writing isn't what you wanted. It's all that green is not a creative color stuff. But also I had weird experiences when we were doing creative writing and they were like, "Oh, talk about what you did this weekend." Like me and my brother made chainmail armor and then we tested it out to see if it was more resistant to slashing or stabbing. And they were like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm like, "You asked me what I did this weekend. This is what I did this weekend." And I think it also confused them a lot because I grew up like raising goats and horses and chickens and stuff like that. And so they're like, ah, one of these guys. But I was also raised by very educated people who just sort of said, like, fuck society, we're going to go live on a farm. So all of us were decently smart. And so then they were like, oh, we got this farm boy here. And I was like, dog, I will school you any day. I got in an argument with my. Let me explain this. Like I'm still heated about this, and it was way longer than I care to admit. I got in an argument with my. Yeah, it's science. He was my chemistry teacher, who was the wrestling coach, who we all knew did not have the credentials to be a chemistry teacher. They were just like, oh shit, we have to let him have some sort of teaching job because he's the wrestling coach. So they made him the chemistry teacher. And he told me that narwhals weren't fucking real. He was like, narwhals are like unicorns. They don't exist. And I was like, motherfucker, narwhals exist. And we got in an argument and I got in trouble because I was like, no, like, normally I'll back down on certain things, but narwhals are real. You absolute buffoon. And we argued about it and he hated me because I was like, no, you're just fucking wrong. I didn't fully develop free will till my 20s. I just did what I thought I had to and got confused when I felt bad all the time. That is so real. Fortunately, I had the presence of mind as even a little person not to say, oh, I mixed gasoline and stuff. Dude, don't do that at home, kids. It totally doesn't make napalm and it's totally not fun to play with. But no, yeah, I did a decent amount of arguing with teachers. The one that I always hated was like, you're not supposed to know that yet. And I'm like, well, bitch, I do, so what? It sounds like you're the one who doesn't know that, so if you want to keep arguing with me, that's fine, but I don't know, I was raised with the whole idea of if you don't know something, you ask your parents. If your parents don't know, you look in a book. If the book doesn't have the answer, you go talk to the teachers. If the teachers don't know, you got a damn good question. Why did your teachers also know that line? Weren't we hundreds of miles apart, thousands even? Well, because I went to school in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma doesn't. Oklahoma, for the longest time, especially when I was there, was literally number 50 in the most shit ass schools. Good question. Let's find out. That would have been so nice if someone had said that. Like, I'm serious. It's the joke that everyone says around here, but it is real. The only things for entertainment to do in Oklahoma is go to like our one mall, watch tornadoes, meth, and cut school funding. Like, that is all there is. I'm here with RM, like, yeah, my teachers never did that. And like, I had some nice teachers and teachers I liked. There was one, it was AP European history, and I had a great relationship with that dude. But beyond that, there weren't a whole lot of teachers that I really had like a good teacher relationship. It was frustrating because when things are like that and teachers aren't expecting or don't know what to do with it, it becomes almost like a, oh cool, you're smart, well I guess you can help other people, or I guess I don't need to help you. And I'm like, well dog, I'd like to get smarter, but I guess yeah, sure, your job is done. I passed the mark. And my sixth grade biology teacher is like 90% of the reasons I know the answers to all those sex questions. Oh my gosh. So, you guys know those situations that happen in a work environment where someone says something, you're like, I'm not going to be the one to say it, but I'm pretty sure that you shouldn't say that at work. I had one of those today. We were talking about stuff that happened in school, and one of the people I was with was like, "Oh, I was in color guard." And I was like, "Oh, no way, so was I." And they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I was also a cheerleader." To which she goes, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, so you wanted to look up girls' skirts?" I'm like, "I love that I say I was in cheer and color guard, and your two options are gay or pervert. Those are your two options." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to say that, but whatever. I'm just gonna let it go." My coworkers, almost all female, keep asking me what I do with my free time, and now I've got this reputation of being mysterious. Well, yeah, you don't want to tell people. The funniest shit is my dad works like straight for the government at one of the agencies, and the number of times he's like, "Dog, I have to give talks to people that I would think that you wouldn't have to have after like high school. The number of times I have to go in and be like, "Hey guys, just a reminder that your undergarments should go under your garments. You should be wearing stuff that covers you. You are a federal employee. Please stop making this look like spring break." My subordinate is shocked that I like to party. My name's Rod, and I like to party. A friend of mine once described me as being mysterious in high school. All I did was sleep in the back room and have friends in other classes. I don't know. High school is one of those. I'm not gonna lie. I have always been a very salty person. Like I always tell people like I have a very long fuse. I'm very understanding and very loving. But the second that fuse is gone, like, nah, you're not getting it back. And part of why I left school is I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay in school and just waste my time because I enjoy color guard. And then I had a solo in our show, and it was very clear that the director really preferred this one girl, and He was like, no, you're not doing anything wrong, but we're gonna give your solo to this other girl. And I say other girl, she was the only girl in the situation. And I was like, cool. And then I left practice that morning and called my parents to pick me up, and then told the school that I was done. I was like, nah, B. Bro, when a woman says mysterious, what I think she means is that you didn't lore dump your life story on first meeting like an NPC. Voice changer confirmed. What did I do? My voice fluctuates, I know that. I can get everywhere. Like, I don't know. When I'm at work, I raise my voice because of a book that I read at one time when I was younger that said that people find deeper voices like scary and intimidating, and I was like, oh gosh, I never want to intimidate anyone. And so like it freaks me out because since streaming I do sometimes forget, and so I'll get on a call and they'll be like, oh, just making sure everybody's here, and they'll call my name and I'll come off mute and just be like, yeah, I'm here. And they're like, what? And I was like, oh, sorry. And then I'll get jokes like, oh, did you just go through second puberty real quick? Other girls, yeah, I'm sorry. It is so, like, drawing back the curtain a little bit, like, it is very difficult because I think about stuff a lot that I know will absolutely just show all of my inspirations. And I know that that's, like, comedy is very built off of experiences, and I try my best not to just be a ripoff of the shit that I saw growing up that helped build my sense of humor, but it's really hard because I think about, like, you just said other girls, and that made me think of the Game Grumps thing where Aaron is trying to talk Dan into servicing, and he's like, what if there's another girl there? And he's like, there would only be one girl. I told you, I think that would be a great idea, though. I should absolutely have done that, where it was, instead of the guy with the girl VTuber model, I should have, I want the other to happen. I want a woman to have the male model and just play the other side. Damn, this is gonna be a bitch. Can you, like, open up? Am I just stupid and I've missed a thing that tells it to, like, open up? Let me in. Open up to me. Arm laser cleaned. Yeah, no, it's just, I think about it a lot. I try my best. It's one of those things, it's like video games. It's really hard to be 100% original. Like, when you trace it all the way back, it's like, oh, well, all of these are basically derivatives of Pong, in the idea that it is an interactive virtual game. If the spider bot won't open up, I will. Simpsons did it. Exactly. That's the problem. And I get way in my head about that because I'll start thinking of a joke and then think of, like, oh, but that's way too much like this joke that I heard over in this one place. And it does get really frustrating sometimes. And I wish I just was like, fuck it. It came from my brain and it has to do with the situation we're in. And, like, whatever. But I get in my head a lot about wanting to be wholly original, and then it just ends up being boring because I'm like, shit, everything's been said before. And I know that'll shock you, me getting in my head a lot. I never do that. Your butt rings are very dirty, good sir. Simple, just try to get your head into others. Man, isn't that just the description of most people from the ages of, like, 14 to forever? It's that Louis C.K. bit where he's like, you know, you're a teenage boy, and at that time, you're just looking at everything in your house being like, oh, that might feel right. All right. We're making progress. What are we at? 89? I hate it because I think it's like 90 or 95%. It's like, oh, you can move on to the next thing. I'm like, you don't understand. No, I can't. I will 100% clean it. Don't buy your teenage boy water wigglers. Oh my gosh, I know. And I don't know how those came back into like pop culture because over the last couple days, I've seen so many people posting about it, being like, huh. And I'm like, dog, are you seriously like just thinking this for the first time? I have noticed it has felt weird the last little bit where it feels like everything is recycling. And I don't know if that's good or not. I understand the idea of things becoming retro, but I'm like, dog, I feel like we've already been through this stage of the internet. We're witnessing the first reset. Not the first, our first. I don't know, but we've seen, dog, the one that blew me away was the fact that Crocs are back. Like, I didn't realize that that was a thing until my kids were like, Dad, can we get some Crocs? And I'm like, the fuck did you just say to me? The thing that I don't get is the whole idea that like things start as ironic and then turn into reality. I get the concept because like I never said bro. I thought bro was one of the dumbest words. And then I started saying it to make fun of people. And then I just started saying bro as part of my life. God, who told the hot girls that spandex was now back in? I love that, man. Yeah, there's certain things I'm glad that they're back, and then there's other things I'm like, no, that should stay gone. Bro. High-waisted jorts. And no leggings. Come on, be more high powered. Do I have any ex extensions? I need to be extended. Extra long. Let's go. Dude, goth chicks never left. They just became moms. We had this conversation in the Discord though, like definitely caught the weakness for goth chicks. Scene chicks a little bit, but scene could go too far, and then you'd have people who are like, oh, I'm scene. It's like, no, you're trying to get attention. They left pop culture. We had the goth girlfriend memes. That's your certainty. Was it the three goth girlfriends who smoke? No, they gotta go outside dressed that way or it doesn't count. The funniest thing that I ever saw as a kid going to the mall was I saw two, like, what people think about when they think of goth people, like piercings and makeup and all the dark clothing, pushing a stroller with a kid dressed in pure all white. And I was like, I hope that they see the irony in that because I find that hilarious. If high school RM can be surrounded by goth girls, so can you. I love that for them. Yeah, it was really funny. And that's, I think I was like 10 when I saw that, and I still think about that. I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. Now I need to take my extender off. It's too big. I will say, This is going to be my little PSA. People are always like, oh my gosh, your life is over when you have kids and you need to get all your fun out of the way. I had kids relatively young, and I think that's fine if you are ready for it. I'm not over here saying, everyone, go have kids now. But, like, if you spend time with your kids and teach them the way you want them to learn, you can just make little people who enjoy shit that you like. We're finishing up Naruto right now. We're in the last like 30 episodes of the original Naruto Shippuden, and it's one of those like yeah, because we talk to them, we enjoy them, and we've created little nerds that we can do shit like that. Oh, don't even get me on that soapbox. No, for real. People are just like, oh man, kids ruin everything. Like dog. You can make like this is gonna sound bad, but you can make kids whatever you want. As long as you're excited, dog, my kids have loved Pokemon since before they could fully like form sentences. Because I also love Pokemon, and so I always had Pokemon stuff around. I'd always talk about it. I'd get excited, and they love it too. They're watching the anime. My son has so many Pokédex books. My daughter has played her first. She played the first one she played was Emerald for a little bit, and now they have Switches and they're playing Let's Go Pikachu. Like, dog, just if you take the time to invest in your children, they can be like little, like, obviously you want to have that differentiation between being friends and being a parent and all of that. But for the most part, they can enjoy the things you enjoy and do the things that you like. They ruin everything if you're a selfish fuck. Exactly. And I'm not going to tell you that nothing changes. Like things do change. You have this person who is like now you are no longer just you. You are no longer the most important person in your world, and you have to be okay with that. But also, if you take the time and enjoy things with them, do things with them. Oh, hey Chan, how's it going? The extender stays on. Yeah, yeah, I understand. But right now we're trying to clean a scorpion. But no, that's really it. Is like y- a lot of it is you get in what or you get out what you put in, and I don't feel like people understand that. And people try to scare people and be like, oh no, everything's over. Yes, clean the scorpion cloaca, but it doesn't have to be. There are certain things that, of course, me and my wife will only watch when the kids are at their grandparents or after they've gone to bed, just because the content is not suitable for where they are yet. But yes, Lirio, you do have to get over the barrier of having someone to have sex with first. But you can still find things to enjoy. There are plenty of anime that I am comfortable watching around the kids. We've watched. We haven't gotten super far in One Piece. I know that it gets sort of sus sometimes, but we've watched a lot of One Piece. We've watched Pokemon. We've watched. They. I even see. Oh, waifu. Hey, what's up? We got the mod in here now. We can stop talking about her. Human history shows that's the low barrier. That's for real. But I've found anime that I absolutely love because I was looking for things. I'm like, okay, this says it seems appropriate for kids, and then I'll do some looking into it. I'm like, all right, we'll watch it. Kuma 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 Bear. I love that show, and I never would have watched it if I wasn't trying to find anime that was appropriate to watch with the kids when they were younger. By the grace of the gods, I don't know that I would have watched it, but it looked like a cute one that was okay for the kids, so we watched it, and I love that. And now I've got some little nerds who love watching Studio Ghibli films with me, and talk about video games and anime with me. Like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we weren't specifically talking about yours. We were just talking about in general how there is no middle ground on panties. It's just like either it's you put in a quarter and it spits out some in like one of those gotcha balls, or they're like $40. There's not like a. I just want like a moderate level one because we were talking about how for long lasting ones, I've found that MeUndies, even though they're ridiculously expensive, last a long time and feel very nice. RM, you're the only one in this chat that like has the pass to talk about them. Clearance from for $5 from Victoria's Secret. Hell yeah. That's my thing also, is I don't understand people who get weird about stuff like that, like clearance and stuff like that. I'm like, dog, I had a friend in school who would be weird. Like his mom would find something at Goodwill and she saved the bags from like Aeropostale and Abercrombie because he wouldn't wear them if he knew that they were secondhand. So she would have to put them into the secondhand clothes or into the brand name store bag so he didn't think, and he would find out and then I would get nice clothes, but whatever. For me, I'm the kind of person like, hell yeah, bro, guess what? Got this for $2 because it was on sale. I don't care. I don't need to be flexing. If I care about you, I'll tell about you like all about the sales so you can get some too. I found so many nice name brand barely used growing up. Oh yeah, for sure. And we did talk about what I find ridiculous about that whole industry, where it appears like they are trying to make things take as little fabric as possible and still cost just as much as if you were buying like a full body covering thing, which I'm like, just logistically, that doesn't make sense. I understand like, material costs and stuff like that, but all right, bro, that's a half shirt. That should be half price. No, it's actually going to cost more because it's trendy and in right now. Shut the hell up. Other than shirts that I wear to work, like 90% of my wardrobe is either just like plain white t-shirts or shit that I thought was funny. Like I have a shirt with a dragon on it that's rolling dice that says I have ADHD and D, and one that's like, I'm not distracted. I am doing side quests. Because I think that's funny. Also, you know, the obligatory give it to me straight, now give it to me gay, stuff like that. But beyond that, like, nah, it's just white shirts. It could cost us as much, but that's why I don't purchase $50 panties. I just think the entire thing is ridiculous. Fashion is such a scam. Get low, get low. Err. I made that mistake exactly once, and it was a bra, but it also fell apart as quickly as the $12 ones. Yeah, no more $50 bras. $30 is most I'll spend. I don't know, man. Don't spend that, dude. Okay, it's similarly on topic, but lingerie, dude. I don't understand why it's so damn expensive. It's like, dog, there's barely any fabric, and it's gonna end up piled up on the floor. Like at the price that some of it is, I'm like, nah, shit. Like I'm hanging this stuff up before we do anything because I don't need that getting messed up. I don't need to have to rebuy it. I don't buy expensive lingerie either. Sometimes I like to feel pretty. Schoolgirl Nero for the win. I will say I do find some of the that is one of those experiences actually. We're gonna flip switches there, but it has to do with that. Is while I was working at a certain store, they brought in the new like male lace underwear line, and being the only male that was working there at the time, they were like, "Yo, Nero, go try these on." And so I went into the bathroom at work. I was like, "Well, I guess I'm changing underwear at work now." And I still have them, and it was just such an like interesting. Cause, like, I'm sorry, I'm not used to lace, and so they're like, "How does it feel?" I'm like, "I don't know yet." It it is an interesting like something's there, but nothing is there. I don't know. I've never understood some of the culture around that. I've talked about it before, but like we used to do lessons and stuff, and I would teach a lot of them, and so the store would stay open until like 2 o'clock, and I would stand there and we'd have a charcuterie board and wine, and I would give lessons on different things that have to do with that. And people just come and get drunk and loud and giggle, and I'm like, dog, I'm just trying to do my job. I know you find this hilarious, but this is just what I do. So I need you to chill the fuck out. Maybe stop having wine if all you're gonna do is like scream and giggle about it. Yo, you can raise the arm up and down. Yeah, that's the motion I like. But no, I've never understood some of the weirdness about it. It would always be really frustrating when he is straight up jorking. But no, it's just like, dog, if you're gonna be here and we're all gonna be adults about it, can you stop just like screeching and giggling while we're talking about this? You were clearly playing a different game than I was, because I remember a lot of those. I'm serious though, waifu, I need to get you and my wife together, and you guys need to start your book talk podcast. Okay, the head casing is still dirty. Dirty mouth, clean it up. Don't threaten me with a good time. Ah! Give me them fingies. Ooh, dirty, dirty fingers. I'm getting more chill, BRB. Oh, chilly. I thought it was chill. I was like, are you just like, gotta go take off? Dude, okay, speaking of being chill and where I was going with that joke, uh, I definitely was about to start streaming. I was like, something just doesn't feel right. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have pants on, and I can't stream with pants on. I gotta have shorts or pajamas on, but just having pants on doesn't feel right. Or maybe if I get on this arm, yeah, all right. That claw is good. Bro's fingers are dirty as hell. Where the hell is the head casing dirty? Let me clean your eyeball. You're just gonna make me clean you all around? What the hell is still dirty? Move. The scanner isn't fucking dirty. Is it under here? Swear. Bro. I will decommission you, I swear. The pants brand I have are Levi Strauss. Strauss. The half almond thing, inner trim. Yo. Now I saw something dirty over here. Alright, no, head casing. Okay, whatever. We're gonna get the gripper because I want to get that one. Open them up. Alright, gripper is clean. The cannon isn't. Ding. I got something dirty for you. I know you do, Gore. Alright. This is a good angle. Oh, I was just thinking you said 2.5 minutes of ads. I'm sorry. Oh, I fell. Just like the tower. The Eiffel Tower, not a joke about certain events in New York. You got caught in the ad? Oh no. That guy needs headlight fluid. I got some of that for a Dirty Santa gift one time. What is dirty? Late nights, come home, work sucks, I know. Alright, we're gonna stick the extender on. The extra long. Or just get all up in the nooks and crannies. Leg well. Well, well, well. It's like a kid saying, Mama, you raised me good, and then falling down a well. Getting all up in the unders. Quilgore's gone in ad purgatory. Let's be super. I definitely, because of that, I read that. I was like, be super what? Oh, super gay. Alright, that's fine. I'm still surprised that no one had anything to say about me bringing the family to the armpit of Florida to go have gay sex with the chatter. Enjoy your Bezos bucks. Okay, come on. What am I missing? We got some tail goo up here. Ooh, some well gunk. Alright. We're almost done. And then I can go eat. My stomach is grumbling. It is not happy. Alright, let's take a step back. Boom. Sniped. Boom, headshot. What's for dinner? I don't know. It'll be a surprise. I feel like Florida is probably the optimal shit state to live in because at least there's great potential for jokes. I mean, it is one of our most phallic, shaped states. Imagine if you just lived in Delaware. RM, you're the smart one in here. What is that place where you can, like, stand in 4 states at once? The Four Corners area? The Capitol building is phallic, too? Hell yeah. I'm just gonna wildly spray. I'll catch something. Remember that, kids. If you wildly spray, you will eventually catch something. That's Wyoming and shit. In the Northeast, the one I'm thinking of, I know that I drive through when I go from Oklahoma to South Carolina. More like Wyoming. Got him. Ooh. Naughty boy. Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. Yeah. That place. Alright, I think we're almost there. We're at 99. This is the annoying part. Alright. Trying to use my dirt vision to see if I see anything. Boom. Leg shot. Alright, let's pull up the list. Alright. Okay, so cannon casing. Okay. So it's this guy over here. Where the fuck is the dirt? Oh, I didn't even know that was something. Let's see. It's something on here. Raise the arm. Boom. Okay, got that. Rear exhaust. Lower it. Clap, clap, clap. Get clean, get clean, get clean. Alright. What do we have? Side exhaust. This fucking arm. Okay. Now what? Shoulder connectors. Is it you? Yes, it is. Ow, now I'm in the stairs. Get in the tube. I had to mess with settings. I know you just said I wish I had dirt vision, but I had to mess with settings so much because I have like the computer light and shifting glasses, and when I first loaded up the model, it did not like that and it wasn't tracking properly. So I had to do a lot of messing around to be able to see while I stream and also um have it track my eyes. Get all up in the hinges. Yeah. Okay, now we need to find out where the hell that casing is dirty. What else is dirty? We got tail segments. Okay. We got some of it. Imagine having to use contour makeup and shit for face tracking. Nah. I did have to take off my hat, though. I'm wearing a hat like 99% of the time, and I was like, I guess I'll take the hat off. Shoulders. Alright. Man, I am hungry. Just please show me where the dirt is. This shoulder is dirty. What if I just blast it? I start blasting them. Tracking looks good. Our littlest just walked up and was like, ooh, it's moving. He can't hear stream, but he wanted me to tell you that your new model is cool. Thank you. Yeah, you're not like my kids who are like, no, like, I want to meet a real VTuber. Like, oh, thanks, guys. Makes me feel great. Ooh. Alright, underbelly clean. Or just give me the damn shoulder. Is it in here? Do you need your pits cleaned? Raise the arm. Lower the arm. Whatever. I'm real as fuck, boy. Where is it? Okay, that doesn't move. So where the hell is this dirt? Alright. Shorty boy. There, fucking finally. Alright. Since we're down here... Okay, head casing is done. What do we have now? Hail bellows. Fuck me. Alright, which one of you lovely boy... Oh! Sproing. Okay, so it's one of these. This one. When's the first meet and greet? Good lord, when anyone would actually be interested in meeting and greeting me. Bro acting like I didn't just invite him over for chili. Okay. Ah! I fell. How much cleaner do you need to be? Oh, that's not even the right one. It's this one. How much cleaner do you need to be? I'm glad there's not like fall damage in this. This would make it so much worse. We gotta get the extendo on. And then hit the right one. Alright, all of that is clean. What is left? Okay, we have these. We have headlight and leg wells. Alright. Headlights. You want to look down? Headlight. Headlight. Ding. Alright. Leg gripper. Where's the leg well? That's the leg well. That one's clean. So... it's this one. Get sprayed. Maybe you should have invited him over for when you smoked pork butt. Oh, we should probably get ready with some of that for the 8th. Yeah, I didn't get invited for the 8th. What's up with that? I don't even believe this shit anymore. You're clean. You're lying. Want me to get up in your guts? Do you have the time to listen to me whine about everything and nothing all at once? I guess I'm making a rub. Hell yeah. You always got to rub if the boys are coming. Where is it? I swear. Okay. Claws. Claws. Claw. Where is Claw? Claw wrist is fine over here. What about you? Bro. Come on. The fan belt I just found out is over here, so we might as well come in and... oh, damn it. Now I have the extendo on. Bop, bop. Alright, fan belt is good. I guess we'll go back up. And then we'll have finally cleaned this. Audio sounds good tonight? Thank you. I appreciate that. My biggest fear right now is just making sure that everything sounds good for when we eventually play Helldivers. Mother. Okay. What do we got? Give me that dirt. Claw clean. Alright, lift up. Your little song sounded good. I would like to do more singing. It'll be a mixture of getting over nerves and actually having it be proper in the moment. I don't just want to be like, hey guys, listen to me sing. It is just the wrist. Your kiss is on my wrist. Gonna keep bouncing until we get it. Let's get a... hold on, we gotta check. We gotta check. I want to see if Waifu is beating me right now. You're at 79.38. Ooh, I see a spot. I see a spot. We just gotta... yeah! Alright, this is done. Let's watch the time lapse. Clean all the peats. Your tail chompers. And we are done. With that, let's come over in here real quick. I love the falling emotes. The falling emotes is really fun. Okay, I'm just barely beating you. But anyway, on that note, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you for dealing with me just yapping. I didn't really have much planned. I just wanted to get this stream in, but am way too tired to be doing anything else right now. But let's find somebody fun to raid today. Let's see. Do do do. We'll go raid into PP Slayer. Looks like she's live. So be nice, be kind, be fantastic, angels. I appreciate it. I'm glad that everyone enjoyed the chill vibes. And be kind. Have a great evening. I'm gonna go eat dinner, but just remember that I love you all. You are all my angels. I'm glad that you made it to the last little bit too, and I will see you soon.